Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Minasian signed an extension through 2026. Dylan, you're a Halos fan. What kind of went through your mind when you first saw this news? And how do you think it'll play moving forward?
Um, yeah, I think it's a good move. I mean, ultimately, the Angels are in a rebuild with whatever they want to call it. They've kind of, you know, each year they're like, we want to compete, we want to compete. I mean, at the end of the day, I've had my rants on here before about ownership, but as far as Perry goes, um, I think his best work has been so far through the draft. Um, obviously his first draft ever, he drafted 20 pitchers, which was everybody was clowning on him for that. Um, you know, right now, Sam Bachman, he hasn't really played this year, but last year he was solid. As far as the pipeline goes, um, you know, he got Caden Dana. He's drafted Christian Moore. He just traded for George Klassen, international signing in Nelson Rada. Lugo also traded for. Johnson was in the draft. Alda Gary was traded for. Lugo was traded for. Obviously you go over to their lineup. They've really, had guys just come to the league real quick. You got Neto, you got Shanuel. Ohapi was a trade. Um, they Joe Dell wasn't his, that was Epler's, but he's stuck with them. He's really relying on these young kids to play right now. As far as his trades and stuff, he did trade Edgar Cuero for Giolito, which was a big mistake, but how much of that was Artie Moreno pushing him to try to win with Shohei Ohtani?
Right.
I don't blame Perry for losing Shohei Ohtani. I mean, from all the reports, the Angels were offered to do 700 million with the deferrals as well, and Artie said I'm out. So, at the end of the day, I think he's kind of been handcuffed,
Yep.
but where he's been able to do his work, and that's the draft. So far, these players, and on the trade market, these players look promising. I mean, Shanuel needs to hit for power a little bit more, but Zach Neno's about to be a 2020 guy in his second year. He's only 23 years old. It's a young team, and obviously you're missing Mike Trout, and Anthony Rendon's been gone pretty much the entire season as well. So, um, yeah, definitely interesting. But it means Ron Washington and Perry are most likely here for another 3 years, which, I don't hate.
Yeah. The bulk of his work has been through the draft, like you said. The Angels needed guys like Neto to break out, right? He looks like a pretty damn good player, right? The core is in place. Um, Trading Marsh for Ohapi might be one of the best trades that he'll ever make. I think he's already turning into one of the best catchers in the league, right? So, Shanuel's solid. You got a nice little nucleus there. And you're kind of turning over the keys with the big man still in center field, right? Obviously, he needs to be on the field. That's another conversation in itself, but um, his drafting has been really good. And we didn't even mention he got a guy like Ben Joyce in the third round, throwing 105 in that bullpen. So you got a closer for the future. You got a good little 1-2 punch up the middle with potentially Christian Moore and Neto, and then Ohapi behind the plate. The Angels just need some pitching, man. They're kind of a team that's stuck in the middle, I guess you could say. Some parts you want to rebuild, and you got an owner that wants to be aggressive and make the playoffs, right? So they're kind of stuck in the middle, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see with this young core in place, kind of what direction they go with in terms of like attracting free agents. Obviously, that's the next step, right? Is to get big name guys to come and build a winning culture. So I think they're definitely on the right track. I think Perry is definitely the right guy for this job. And I'm happy that an organization is allowing a guy like Perry to see his plan through, right? He got here in 2021, had a good track record of drafting, and now it's like, okay, it's about to be 2024, 2025. We're going to allow this guy to see it through. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, the dollars have to be available to him to make this
Yep.
team better.
Yep.
At the end of the day, they need depth. I thought last year, bringing in guys like Gio Urshela and Brandon Drury who hit 26 homers last year. Obviously, the Angels up until the trade deadline were in it with Shohei. Trout had that hamate injury that kind of derailed the Angels season a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, Anthony Rendon hasn't been on the field and hasn't been the player that they signed. So
Yeah.
they have money invested in two players that can't stay on the field right now. And I'm the biggest Mike Trout fan in the world, and I love him to death. But it's just the facts, and the facts are their two biggest stars can't stay on the field, so they're going to need new stars.
Yeah,
And
they showed a
you know,
graphic during the J game. They're playing the Angels, and they did an average of Trout from 2012 to 2019, and Trout season averages from 2019 to now, and he's only averaged 59 games since 2020. So, yeah, that's definitely sucks.
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it when the dollars become available to Perry and free agency, it'll be interesting to see where they put their money into. I would, based off of what they've built. And the lineup side, they still do need to find some pitching,
Yeah,
even though there's some on the way. You would think they would try to go and sign some free agent pitching and then probably some outfield help. We'll see if Mike Trout is a DH next year, or a left fielder or center fielder. We don't know. I mean, I think they'll try to invest in the outfield and they will also try to invest in the pitching market. But we shall see. It is Artie Moreno's team, and unfortunately, you know, he's probably one of the worst owners in the league. So,
yeah. No, yeah, you got anything to add? I guess pretty good little rant on your end, but yeah, pretty good move. Happy they're letting him see this through. If you like this video, give us a like and subscribe. Almost at 1,500 subscribers. It's been awesome to see this channel grow, and we'll see you on the next one.